Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo. And as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing to the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this literally does not work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here. Wake up, guys. Whew. I got to tell you, my voice is still shot from the tailgate in the game on Sunday. And I apologize because last night I really didn't do my regular live stream. I was actually at an Adrian Peterson charity event, charity steak dinner, um, basically in the belly of the beast. There was Colt McCoy was there, Josh Norman was there. Yeah, Josh Norman was there. But AP, AP, I know he's a Redskin currently, but you'll remember that he had said he wanted to finish up his career as a Dallas Cowboy. And I went up and I met him and everything. And one of the people that works with my wife that I've known for several years, as you know, I walk up, oh, this is Mark. He's a Dallas Cowboy fan. And I'm like, you're going to put me on blast right here in the middle of Redskin territory, even though I was wearing a blue shirt and stuff. And he's starting to talk to AP. He was like, man, I grew up in Texas. I grew up being a Dallas Cowboy fan, and and had a great conversation. And here's the thing that I get a lot of grief for, because I do have a few pieces of paraphernalia from some other teams, but it's from players that I've gotten to know, doing work with, that have done work in the community. Great people off the field. And see, that's the thing that was great about our tailgate this weekend. It gave me a lot of hope for a lot of reasons, because we had people from different backgrounds, different standings in life, different colors, different races. I mean, everything that you could imagine. We even had there was an Eagle fan that was there. We had a few Giant fans and some Redskin fans. But all that stuff, all our differences didn't matter. The 400 people that were there, we were all there having a great time with football. And these guys, these football players, their careers are short, but their impact can be long lasting, life changing, in fact. And we have some great ones. We've had great ones here in Dallas with, Dak Prescott gives back a lot, Jason Witten, NFL Man of the Year. And this is what football is. It's more than just the game on Sunday. And as much grief as I give the Eagle fans or the Giants and Redskins and things, it's nothing personal. It's what football is. We can be enemies as far as teams go, but we can still be friends. And so I'm happy about that whole event, and I was happy to actually be there where they're raising money to help change people's lives. So, on to our Dallas Cowboys. We know Michael Gallup is getting his meniscus cleaned out, 2 to 4 week type of an injury. Nothing that's major. It's not structural. Meniscus basically is the cushion between the knee joints. It's not like an ACL or an MCL tear or anything like that. They're going through and smoothing it out, which is great news. The good news is we have more receivers. In the past when we've lost Dez Bryant, we're going down to, Terrence Williams being our number one receiver. But we have enough people in there with Amari Cooper, who's definitely playing his cards right by saying, I'm in no rush to get this contract done. He's looking like he is the real deal. And apparently, Dak Prescott and him are a much better combination than Derek Carr and he was. So you got to be happy about that. But here's what's funny is a lot of people have been sharing stuff with me because, all off season, it was all Dak all day and about how bad he is, how he's a third tier quarterback, how he doesn't deserve to be paid like, a top quarterback. He should take 20 million and be happy. I remember this like this was yesterday. This was the kind of conversation right after Carson Wentz got paid.
We happy, we settle, this over, and we'll see how that goes. Plan B, in consequence, if plan A doesn't go as desired, is you land where you are, which is, okay, I'm going to have to roll the dice. Because right now I have a perception issue with you, Dak. You have to understand, as the owner who's doing you a favor because you're still under contract,
Doing you a favor.
You have to make me eager. You have to make me willing to sign this contract before I have to. And the problem with the public's reception of Dak is that they perceive him as not as a franchise quarterback. You can look at a Carson Wentz who's won from this fusion of what Nick Foles did twice in the playoffs and a Super Bowl win, and what the Eagles have won, and used that along with his MVP candidacy before injury and parlay that into a $32 million a year deal. Dak is like, y'all know the devil's in the details. Please stop flying so high in this conversation. They dig deep into what I've done in terms of my record and my statistics that are better than Carson Wentz. And the public is too lazy to dive into those details. And Jerry is the good cop and Steven's the bad cop, and they're just going to keep this at bay right now. But plan B is what you said, but plan A is $1 more than Wentz.
Let me ask you this. Let's say there's a car dealer that's sitting out there. You know what? I got a Ford Explorer, and it's better than the Mercedes. And I can show you the details. The details, this better gas mileage, blah, blah, blah. If you needed service, blah, blah, blah. And then the market's the market.
Yeah.
Carson Wentz, if he's out on the market, can get $32 million. Dak can't. Only Dallas would be dumb enough to pay that.
Only Dallas would be dumb enough.
Just a little more.
Yeah.
I'd rather hear Lexus, because day one Lexus, they were comparing it to Mercedes. I ain't buying no Toyota. Oh, how did that turn out? Lexus is all right now, right? At a lesser value. But you give me Ford, it's going to be difficult. I hear you.
So, look, here's the conversation that we have to have with Dak Prescott, because everyone is appalled that he may be in the $30 million range. What you have to look at, the franchise tag, the exclusive level is at $33 million. If he signs it
Here's
again,
actually
it goes up
somebody with some
120%.
reason.
So we're going to put him at like $36 million. So the conversation has to start at $69 million guaranteed. And then when you talk about his draft mate, Carson Wentz is at $32.5 million, which is why it's like the price is right. You're right. I need $1 more than Carson Wentz at a minimum before I even come in. The problem that people have is, for whatever reason, Dak Prescott is not viewed as a franchise quarterback. But I challenge Cowboy fans. Do you remember Quincy Carter?
Amen.
Do you remember Chad Hutchinson? How about Drew Henson?
Why
How
are
did
we
you like
talking
those
to
days?
fans, Bucky?
Because
Why
that's
not
what the
talk to
issue
other-
is.
That's the issue.
No.
That's the issue.
That is the
NFL
issue.
owners,
No.
NFL executives,
no.
they're the ones that have.
So that was August 13th, just a month ago. And now, did I lose it? Boom, here we go. Now this is yesterday.
Family. A football mafia boss his peers have identified as past his prime and easy prey. Troy Aikman is Sonny Corleone, Jerry's oldest son, the heir to the throne who made his bones when the Cowboys family was at the height of its powers. Tony Romo, he's Fredo Corleone, Jerry's middle son. Romo was dropped on his head in the first playoff game of his career when he botched a would-be game-winning field goal. Snap. Romo never recovered. And that means Dak Prescott is Michael Corleone, Jerry's baby boy. No one expected Dak to become an integral part of the Cowboys family business. He was Fredo's backup. There were even rumors that Dak wasn't really Jerry's son. Some people saw Dak as more Tom Hagen than Corleone, a homeless kid Romo and Aikman befriended and Jerry adopted. But now, after what Dak has pulled off the first 2 weeks of the season, it's clear Dak is Michael. Dak located the gun his agent Todd France hid in a bathroom stall, calmly walked out and put bullets in the heads of the Giants and the Redskins, and is now tucked safely away, awaiting the Dolphins while his agent negotiates with the authorities. After his performance Sunday against Washington, which included 3 more touchdown passes and 69 rushing yards, Dak Prescott can name his contract price. Forget Carson Wentz's money. Dak can ask for Russell Wilson's. Dak can be the highest paid football player in all of the NFL. This is an amazing turn of events. Dak Prescott is a cold-blooded killer. We, the media, roughed him up the way the dirty cop broke Michael's jaw outside Don Corleone's hospital, and now Dak is like, it's not personal, Troy. Strictly business. Dak is inside Jerry's Super Bowl host hospital room whispering, I'm here, Pop. I'll take care of you now. I'm with you now. I'm with you. It's time to pay Dak Prescott. I know the Cowboys can hit Dak with the franchise tag next season. That would be a mistake. If Jared Goff can get overpaid, why can't Dak? I'd rather have Dak than Goff.
Oh.
Can't believe I'm saying this, but I'd rather have Dak than Carson Wentz.
Oh.
Like a lot of young quarterbacks, Goff and Wentz got overpaid based on potential. I'd rather overpay Dak based on production. The scrutiny and criticism turned Dak into a killer. I don't view his early season success as an aberration. You can be a consistent Super Bowl contender with Dak Prescott as your quarterback. What I like most about Dak is he's not scared. He doesn't melt under the intense pressure. Stephen Jones, Marshall Faulk, a large percentage of the media question Dak's ability to become a franchise quarterback. Dak and his agent put a gun to his critics' heads and told the Cowboys either their signature or brains will be on that record contract. Respect. Let me be the first to kiss the ring.
My first thought when I saw that was, this is sports talk? My second thought was, call MIB. Because I was expecting like his face to pop up and there'd be an alien or something in there. That's not the same guy we've been watching. Eating crow right there. Talking about Dak Prescott should get paid. Who has literally trashed Dak Prescott all off season, saying, you know, he is a scrub, he's a bum, he'd take anybody over Dak Prescott, that I'd offer him $20 million and tell him to walk if he doesn't take it, that he's a bum, a scrub, and all that. You know, it's amazing how these people in the media can flip sides with no repercussions at all. By definition, that's what I call a fair weather fan. Wouldn't you agree? Now, one thing I can honestly, and everybody in here can attest to, is I am no fair weather fan. I have stayed on Dak Prescott's, supporting Dak Prescott. I have been there the whole way, believing in him and telling you guys that he's the real deal. The thing that drives me crazy is when I envy the, I'll be honest with you, and maybe it's jealousy, but I envy these guys that get to do football for a living. The fact that they can go out there every day and do something that I absolutely positively love is amazing. The fact that they can go out there and be wrong constantly with no repercussions. I mean, they make the weathermen look 100% correct on some of these guys. It's just filling the air with whatever. And it doesn't have to be true. It doesn't have to be right. It doesn't even have to be close. So now, in the course of 2 weeks, we've gone from Dak Prescott being a third-tier quarterback, a scrub, a guy that Carson Wentz is head and shoulders above, a guy that I kept telling you, look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. I kept saying, as they go through, Pro Football Focus took Dak Prescott's season in entirety and said, well, he's a third tier. But I said, break it down from when you had Amari Cooper. Break it down from when you got rid of Paul Alexander as an offensive line coach. Because that was two totally different teams. And you have to acknowledge that. You have to put that into the equation. Are you really so small-minded that you can't see trends? You couldn't see the fact that the Dallas Cowboys started getting their groove, that they finally started getting a tight end with Blake Jarwin, getting 3 TDs against the New York Giants. You couldn't see that even though the offensive line was in flux, that they started to play more cohesively as the season went on, getting rid of Paul Alexander, going back to their old ways with Mark Colombo. You couldn't see these things, that a team that went 7-1 over the last 8 games and yet still said they're 19th in the NFL. Now, I know that it was only the Giants and the Redskins, but I got to tell you, the Eagles played the Redskins and were down 17-0. The Eagles gave up almost 400 yards to the Redskins without Adrian Peterson. So don't give me this whole thing, it had to come from behind. Don't give me this whole thing, it was just the Giants. It was just the Redskins. A victory is a victory in the NFL. And I got to tell you, nobody can just show up and throw 7 TDs. I don't care who you're playing. I don't care who you are playing. 7 TDs in 2 games. Doesn't happen. It's time, like I've been doing all along, to give Dak Prescott his due and understand that he is the new guard in the NFL. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. We're going to continue to try and bring you sports talk the way it really is, not the bullshit that you get from the cable news networks. I apologize again for not having my full live stream last night. We may do it tonight, 9 o'clock. Just let me know if you guys want to hear from me tonight. But right now, unfortunately, I don't work for one of the networks. I got to go get to my day job. I'll see you soon.